What is your favorite spread on the board out of the 4 games in the divisional round this weekend?
Boy, coming onto the show, I said, what are my counterparts going to bring up? So ideally, the best value on the board is the Packers -6. Because let me tell you something, Jimmy Garoppolo is not going to play in this game. So once that news comes out, you're going to see this spread move. But I'm going to take it a step further. I am going to go with the team that made me more money than any other team in the league. The Cincinnati Bengals +3.5 against the Titans. Last week, I gave you an alternate spread to take. Take the 6.5 with the Rams. That was an easy cash. You know what else is going to be an easy cash this week? -6.5 for the Bengals against the Titans. They're going to wipe the floor with this team in that fraud secondary that they're running out. Oh, Derrick Henry's back. Yippee! Doesn't matter when they're down by 27 points because Derrick Henry doesn't catch. Let me tell you something. The Bengals have been one of the best teams against the spread as road underdogs. 4-1 in that scenario, covering by an average of 11.1 points. Give me the Bengals moving on easily against the Titans.
Love it. Joe Burrow, by the way, 4-0 straight up against the spread in his past 4 starts too, Steven. Reid, what about you, dude?
I don't know why Steve comes on this show and makes it so difficult for himself. He could just easily stick with the regular number in the spread, but he goes alternate. And that worked in our favor last week against Ulrich, but we all know Ulrich's a dope. So, that was an easy call. I know Pearce is on here wishing that the Steelers won, but old man Ben couldn't come to fruition. He couldn't do anything. But like Steve mentioned at the very onset, it's the Packers right now. The Packers right now at 6. It's potentially it could come down to 5.5, which is a dead number. But you talk about injuries, talk about that side with San Francisco and Jimmy Garoppolo not playing in that game. If that moves up, you're getting some extreme value under a touchdown for Aaron Rodgers. They're coming off a bye. They got a ton of rest. All of their guys are healthy. And you have a secondary that has Josh Norman on it. Emmanuel Mosley is fine, but Josh Norman is cooked. He is not a good cornerback right now, and I get it. Green Bay is not great against the run, and Eli Mitchell is fantastic, and I liked the 49ers earlier this week, but, hearing about Jimmy G with a bad thumb already and a bad shoulder, and Nick Bosa and Fred Warner being at less than 100%, I think both of them are going to play, but less than 100%, that scares me quite a bit because the 49ers rush and blitz the least, or one of the least teams out of the NFL, or the least, at least in this in the playoffs right now. So that's the one that catches my eye earlier in the week.
All right, Pearce, what's your favorite spread on the board?
Even and I are in agreement, so that worries me a little bit here. It's the Bengals. The Titans are frauds. 24th, when we look at strength of schedule, they've had a really easy schedule and a very fortuitous schedule. They played good teams at the right times. They're just not a good team. They play in the AFC. They play in the AFC South. They lost to the Steelers. The Bengals crushed the Steelers both times they played them. And Steve's right. Who cares about Derrick Henry? It doesn't really matter about Derrick Henry or not. And if Derrick Henry was fine, why are they rushing him back? If this was a good team, why are they rushing Derrick Henry back? But it doesn't matter because the Bengals offense is going to get up early on this team, force the Titans into a passing scheme. And that's how the Titans always lose. We've seen this before. And the Bengals have the offensive firepower to get up early and pretty much just punch them in the face, knock them down, and the Titans never get up off the mat.